Hey ho hi, Mark the Crawler here, and this is a breakdown for the Brigantine. Now, this is a segment cut out of my next video, Carriers of the Covenant, for a couple of reasons. 1, I feel it's a different enough ship to warrant its own video. 2, I want to be able to put it in the Sangheili ships playlist. 3, Carriers of the Covenant is very long, so it'll be a while before it's done. And 4, I haven't uploaded a video this month, I don't have a conventional job for another 3 days, and I am living on a college student budget. I do hope you enjoy. Subscribe to Mark the Crawler, please. Happy holidays, happy new year, like, comment, subscribe. Super thanks, please. Please. Lursu-Pattern Brigantines are old, really old. So old they were only brought back into military service out of dire necessity. Built sometime before 938 BCE, the Lursu-Pattern Brigantines are vestige ships made by the elites before joining the Covenant. Measuring in at 6,367 meters, or 20,889 feet, and measuring 2.3 billion tons, these ships dwarfed a lot of the largest Covenant ships, and I think are the third largest Covenant ship class we know of. We will be talking about the two other ones later. A lot of that extra girth is probably old tech that the elites don't know how to make compact, as at the time they refused to reverse engineer Forerunner tech. Even before meeting the prophets, they worshipped that stuff and saw taking it apart as blasphemy. So in reality, while yes, they'd have Forerunner tech to observe and test, to what extent we don't know, they created the vestige ships, which we'll talk about at length at another time, before ever reverse engineering any Forerunner tech. This is nuts. The humans wouldn't leave Earth for another 3,015 years, and they already built ships that could stand up to the infinity if used correctly. Reclaimers who? Anyway, I did make a short a while back talking about why I think this occurred. Basically boils down to the fact that the Didact nerfed humans a long time ago, but that's not the point of this video. Back on topic. Lursus were relegated to merchant tithe fleets once more powerful ships entered service within the Covenant, shipping resources, money, personnel, anything that needed to be moved from one place to another, far behind friendly lines. The worst they would have had to worry about at that time would have been jackal pirates or perhaps banished raids after 2549. Another quick side note, I really want to see a banished fleet with a mix of their own dedicated ships like Carves and Dracars and Dreadnoughts, mixed in with Covenant ships like the CCS-class battlecruisers and such, and why not throw in some old Sangheili ships with banished colors? They'd make use of them for sure if they had them. I think a more hodgepodge-looking fleet would suit them well. Anyway, they'd be seen in those tithe fleets alongside the Covenant's other weaker or older ships, also being used as ferries for pilgrimages and the like. Some other ships in those fleets include the Auser-Pattern frigates, Karak cruisers, Acton-Pattern escorts, Liches, and Xanar-Pattern light cruisers. The Lursu-Pattern Brigantines were brought back into active military service following the Great Schism. With the loss of High Charity and the splintering of the Covenant, the Sangheili lost a lot of their former political and industrial power. With a much decreased ability to produce new ships, they repurposed their older ships and upgraded them to modern specifications when possible, resulting in the aged Swords of Sanghelios fleet we see today. They've reclaimed the role of heavy carrier, and as far as we've seen are the standard carrier for the Swords of Sanghelios, with at least 3 of the ships taking part in the Battle of Sunayon in 2558. The armament of the Brigantine is more familiar than its silhouette, with one Elsion-Pattern super heavy excavation beam. While of course the pattern itself is of nebulous quality, we don't really know much about any specific naval weapons in Halo, this is a glassing beam, which we've come to look for in a Covenant ship. 12 Razu-Pattern heavy plasma lance batteries. Now if these are anything like the energy projectors found on the Hakarta-Pattern blockade runner, they lack the range and delicacy of modern variants, but make up for that in raw power, able to be overcharged past the parameters deemed safe or appropriate by the prophets. Not to mention that these are plasma lance batteries, implying there are 12 separate groups of plasma lances, not just 12 plasma lances. 188 Kasuchu-Pattern plasma torpedo silos. That one's fun to say, Kasuchu. This is a larger amount of plasma torpedoes than any other Covenant carrier, and maybe it makes sense. With the shorter effective range of the plasma lances, perhaps there were more usage cases for torpedoes compared to nowadays. 200 Kiran-Pattern pulse lasers. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Pulse lasers for swatting the flies that get too close makes sense. No Lursu patterns have ever been officially given a name, and all we know about their operational history outside of the merchant tithe fleets is that they served as command ships during the Battle of Sunayon. Now it's never explicitly stated, but during that battle, when ships are given the order to report in, we hear the reply,
Swords of Sanghelios, all ships report in, Havoc on station, Onslaught on station, Revolution on station, all ships, focus fire on Covenant air forces, send them crashing to a watery grave.
Given that there are 3 Brigantines here, and we hear 3 replies from what are presumably command ships, I don't think it's too much of a leap to assume those are the names of those Lursus. And that is the Lursu-Pattern Brigantine Heavy Carrier.